Dragon Ball as a franchise has a lot of amazing characters, and it's hard to pick a favorite for me, but I'm just gonna focus on Gohan right now. So, backstory, of course, Gohan is Goku's son, and Gohan is half Saiyan and has hidden potential. So, Gohan's first time showing that potential was during Goku and Piccolo fighting Raditz when Gohan revealed his power under moments of stressful situations. So, Piccolo trained Gohan for a year. Gohan helps fight the Saiyans. He then goes to Namek, and then he continues to grow. So, Gohan was popular for this reason. A good TV show or good media shows a main character growing. Now, Gohan was not potent. You could argue that Gohan was the main character of Dragon Ball Z, even though it was Goku's story. Gohan was a character we've really seen a lot of growth from. So maybe he's not the main character of Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z did feel like Gohan's story. And it was a story that was told well. We got to see his growth as a character, and then it culminated by the Cell games. Now, Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2 was the highlight of his character for a lot of people. It was the last time he did something amazing. So Gohan, all those years of training, everything paid off, and he was able to defeat Cell when nobody else was able to. Cell was portrayed as genuinely unstoppable. He was, quite frankly, the perfect android. So Gohan defeating him was no small feat, and the fact that he was 9 years old when he beat him shows that he has amazing potential. And yeah, I'm gonna get someone saying, "Oh, wasn't he 11?" That's what the old dub said. The old dub had a lot of errors, and the manga stated he was 9. Dragon Ball Z Kai stated he was 9. I know Sparking Zero said he was 10, and I guess that's technically true because he didn't spend a year in the time chamber, but he was considered 9 years old by Toriyama, so I'm going with 9. Okay, rant over. Then comes the Majin Buu stuff. Now, by this point, Goku was dead, so Gohan was essentially one of the strongest people on Earth. And he came up with this interesting concept of him being this superhero. So, that really added to his character. He shows that he's still willing to fight, but it gives an important reason as to why that I don't think a lot of people caught. Gohan doesn't fight because he wants to get stronger. He doesn't fight like a Saiyan does. He fights to protect. Now, does Gohan enjoy sparring with his friends? Yeah, he does seem to enjoy that. But Gohan at his core is not a fighter. He made it very clear during the Cell games he doesn't like to fight. Even Piccolo understood this. So, I think that was like the first big mistake for a lot of Gohan fans. When they think of Gohan and what he could be, I feel like they focus on future Gohan and what he is. Understand that future Gohan probably didn't want to fight either. He's doing it because he has no choice. 17 and 18 are destroying the world. He has to get stronger because he's the only Z fighter left. The only other person who could potentially stand up to the androids was Trunks, and Trunks was really young at the time. So of course Gohan had to fight. He had no choice. Gohan in the main timeline had a choice because he's not the only Z fighter left. There's others, and if he can help it, he'd rather just live as normal of a life as possible. Gohan by nature doesn't like fighting. He is not a martial artist. He's a researcher. He likes researching things. Dragon Ball Superhero shows that he was very excited to show Piccolo his research on bugs. So yeah, this whole thing about him being oppressed by his mother to never fight, or being forced to the sidelines and being something he doesn't want to be, that's not true. Gohan wanted to be a scholar. He values studying. That doesn't mean he can't fight. It just means if he wanted to fight, it needs to be by his rules, so to speak. Like, let me put it like this. Gohan was this average schoolboy, and then he was kind of to himself. He didn't really interact with a lot of kids. But in his spare time, he becomes a superhero. The Great Saiyan Man. Sounds like a familiar story. Because it technically has been done before. Gohan is very similar to Spider-Man in a way. Peter Parker, he keeps to himself for the most part, but then when he's not doing his normal life stuff, He's a superhero. He becomes Spider-Man. That's There's a strong similarity between Gohan and Peter. Like, Peter is not really much of a fighter either. Yeah, during the Steve Ditko days, he was very aggressive when he fought, but when Stan Lee took over, I feel like Stan did kind of lean more towards Peter's guilt complex. Point is, Peter still wasn't really much of a fighter. If he can help it, he'd rather avoid fighting. That's Gohan as well. Gohan and Peter fight when they absolutely need to. So, if you want Gohan to be successful as a character, you kind of have to take a little inspiration from how Spider-Man is portrayed. Now, of course, we know there's differences in writing when it comes to Western writing and Japanese writing, and I'm talking about when Western writing was still pretty good. There's still some stuff you can pull from. Like, Toriyama loved pulling from Western culture. The Namek saga was basically like Star Wars. Goku's backstory, was very similar to Superman. Not that Goku himself is Superman, let's make that very clear. Goku's not Superman. Goku was based off Sun Wukong. So, there's a superhero element to Goku, but he is not a superhero. So if you want to compare Goku to a character, look up Sun Wukong and see what he was like, and see how similar he is to Goku. Let's back to Gohan. I think the whole he doesn't like fighting, but he can still get strong works because we see that with Trunks. Trunks really doesn't seem like someone who enjoys fighting that much. I feel like if Trunks can help it, he'd rather live a normal life. He trains to get strong because he wants to protect people. He doesn't say, I want to be the strong, I enjoy being strong, I enjoy pushing myself. He trains because if he doesn't, his world will be in danger. He's the last line of defense in his timeline. There's nobody else there. Whenever there's trouble, it's Trunks. Trunks had his train to be strong enough to defeat the androids. If you've read the Dragon Ball Super manga, and it was even covered briefly in the anime, Trunks had to train again because Majin Buu was coming. And notice that how Trunks dealt with the Majin Buu situation. He didn't wait for Buu to be released because he had that desire to fight a strong opponent. He made sure Buu stayed sealed away. He did what Goku and Vegeta should have done in the main timeline. But that didn't happen. Trunks prevents problems from getting worse. That's his whole thing. And that's what separates him from the other characters. I feel like that could be Gohan too. Gohan seems like someone who would rather minimize a problem than let it get worse. Because the last time Gohan let a problem get worse, Cell nearly blew up the Earth. Thankfully, Goku was a quick thinker, but that cost Goku his life for 7 years. But still, I think people really hope Gohan would have succeeded more in the Buu arc, especially when his hidden power was revealed, but unfortunately, things didn't go well. Goku came back to life. He became the hero again, and Gohan was back in like obscurity. Like, he didn't do anything during Battle of the Gods, or Resurrection F, or the Universe 6 stuff. He wasn't even there for the Goku Black stuff. That would have been perfect considering the fact that the year that Trunks returned to happened to be the same year in his timeline that Gohan died against the androids. So returning to that time and seeing Gohan alive and well would have been very interesting. It would have been great to see Gohan go to that timeline and help fight Goku Black. Yeah, there's video games that show this, but it would have been nicer to have it in the anime. So Gohan got to do stuff during the Tournament of Power at least. Then he got shafted for the Broly movie, but he got Dragon Ball Superhero. Dragon Ball Superhero was probably the biggest culmination of Gohan. It shows that he still has a chance to be something big. So, right now, Gohan's not really doing anything in Daima. And I will say that Dragon Ball GT didn't really use Gohan either. They used Pan, at least, his daughter, but GT just shows that Gohan really was just content with being a scholar and also being a husband and father. Still think Gohan has stuff to show. He just needs good direction. He has like he's an interesting character, very unique. When you think of Gohan, try to think more of a superhero mindset rather than a martial artist mindset. Okay, Gohan's a scholar. He's a thinker. He's not. He fights when he needs to, and he's very calculating. So, don't expect Gohan to be like his father. Nobody expects Trunks to be like Vegeta. So Gohan shouldn't be the exception. But yeah, that's all I had to say. That's what I wanted to say about Gohan. I feel like he's a good character. I feel like he still has more he can show. He just needs the proper writing to show that. And anyway, I'm out. Have a good day.